Hello guys, welcome to the Football Roundtable. Hope you're having a great day. And today's video is a brief summary preview of the Premier League season coming up, which starts next Friday, or this Friday actually, with Crystal Palace at home against Arsenal. And we all know what happened when Arsenal started off the season away from home, isn't it? With a London team or two. So this video is basically a storyline narrative video. It's not a prediction video yet. That will be coming on later on. But I'll just be briefly going over some teams, mainly the big six. Maybe I'll talk about Leicester, Nottingham Forest, etc. But starting off with Arsenal. Arsenal, man, is top 4 or nothing. It's Europa League or nothing. Arteta needs to get top 4. You signed Gabriel Jesus. You signed, was it Fabio Vieira, whatever his name is? I can't remember. But the main headline signing is Gabriel Jesus. And like I said in my reaction video to him, he's not a volume goal scorer. He is an effective player who will work hard, give his all, and contribute to the team effectively, unlike Lacazette. But he's mainly a rigger. He's not a out-and-out striker. Now, you guys have Eddie Nketiah, who is unproven. He's unproven at this level, like a whole season. And he's been given a number 14 of the legendary Thierry Henry. So, will Arsenal get top 4 is my question. Will Arsenal get top 4 with the players they have, with the manager they have? Because I think the biggest weakness is Arteta. I feel as if he will find a way to mess up, especially towards the end of the season. Because remember, the World Cup is in November. The season is broken up. If players, majorly important players get injured during the World Cup, some of these teams may be screwed, you know. So Arsenal, top 4 or nothing. I think if Arteta and Arsenal do not get top 4, he should be sacked unless he wins a couple of trophies or he wins the Europa League. Because winning the Europa League gets you top 4. Gets you the Champions League, sorry. So even then, maybe some fans will say, no, it's not good enough. We need to finish top 4 and win the Europa League and win a couple of trophies and win 3 trophies and do this and do that, you know, maybe finishing 3rd even. So, but yeah, Arsenal, you have to finish top 4 this season. You have to. Even with a wealth of injuries, you have no excuses. Injuries are a part of the game. You have to. You have to get top 4. Moving on to Liverpool. Liverpool. They've won the Community Shield. They've signed Darwin Nunez, aka Charles Darwin, still provoking. Check out my shorts about Charles Darwin and his step over. But he when he came on in the Community Shield against Man City, he did very well. I'd say he did very well. He missed a chance that should have scored against Edison. I think it was a 1-on-1, but he made an impact. Haaland didn't really make any impact. Darwin Nunez made an impact, and he got the goal. And I guarantee you, he has seen the abuses he's gotten online. I wouldn't say I've abused him, but I've mocked him. I'm not saying he's seen my shorts video, but he's seen people on Twitter, seen people maybe on YouTube, on Instagram, mocking him. And he's going to want to prove himself. He's going to want to prove them wrong, you know? And he's going to want to fire Liverpool to a Premier League title, to a Champions League, to an FA Cup, to a Carabao Cup. He wants to win trophies there. He wants to make a legacy. And for £100 million, Jurgen Klopp best have made the right decision. He best have made the right decision, you know? And it'll take Nunez time to adapt to the Liverpool way of things and gegenpress and stuff. But we'll see, because Darwin Nunez versus Erling Haaland is going to be a very interesting battle. Who do you think will get more goals, Nunez or Haaland? And do you also think Haaland will break the Premier League goals record? Maybe not this season, but during his time at Man City, do you think he'll break the record, which I think is 32 goals by Salah in 2017-18? So let me know what you think. But Liverpool, you have to challenge. You have to challenge for the title. You have to try and prevent Man City from winning the three-peat. If Man City, I'll get onto Man City, but if Man City win the three-peat, Premier League is looking very, 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 very funny in the light. Very funny in the light. So Liverpool, second minimum, and you have to get at least to the quarterfinal, semi-final of the Champions League, and maybe win a trophy as well. Defend your FA Cup, defend your Carabao Cup, but you have to win at least one trophy and challenge for the Premier League title. Maybe even win it, you know. So that's the standards Klopp has set. I want to talk about Nottingham Forest. Finally back in the Premier League. I'm happy for them. I think they've signed almost a squad's worth of players, maybe even 12, 13 players they signed this summer. And they'll need the squad depth. They'll need the improvement in quality. They've got the money to do it. You know, the Premier League money is a fat check with a PH as well. Fat check. It's going to be an interesting season for them. People predict that they'll be fighting relegation. I don't think they'll be fighting relegation, like seriously fighting it. I think by the end of the season they'll stay up. I think his name is Steve Cooper, the Nottingham Forest manager. He's actually decent. I'd say he's decent. He's not like a Graham Potter level. Graham Potter has got potential, but Steve Cooper is a decent manager. He's got Nottingham Forest back in the Premier League. He failed to take Swansea into the Premier League last season, or the season before, in the playoff final against Brentford. But he's been threatening to become a Premier League manager with the Championship team, and he's finally done it. And it seems like he's gotten all the players he wants. He's got Jesse Lingard, basically the most famous player right now, the biggest signing, the face of the team right now. And we'll see what Jesse Lingard can do for the team. Does he improve them? Does he hinder them? Does he do nothing? Is he only there for a paycheck and the bonuses? You know. But I think they should do well. They lost their goalkeeper Samba. He wanted to leave, even though he could have played in the Premier League. He wanted to leave, go back to France. Look, they've got some decent players. I think Brennan Johnson is one of the players. He's a decent player. I think they've got one or two other players there. I can't remember their names, but I hope Nottingham Forest stay up for a long time. I hope they do, because they've got heritage. Brian Clough, shout out to him, rest in peace. One of the best managers in the world at the time. 2 European Cups in a row. Nottingham Forest have more football heritage than Arsenal, simply because they've got 2 European Cups. And they did it back to back. Back then, it was kind of usual to see teams win it back to back to back. But for Nottingham Forest to have 2 European Cups is amazing. And Arsenal don't. So, shots fired. Hopefully they stay up. Hopefully they wow people and shock people and prove them wrong, So hopefully they'll finish. I think they'll finish maybe 16th, 17th. But I'll make my full predictions later on. Moving on to Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs. I think they would have a good season. Conte seems to have gotten the majority of the players he wanted. He got Jed Spence, he's got Perisic, he's got Richarlison from Everton. He's got, who else? Longley. I'm surprised he got Longley. I don't think he's that good. Yeah, he's got the players he wants. And Conte is a phenomenal league manager. Phenomenal. And this is why Tottenham are a threat, because Tottenham needs to, I think they'll get top 4, and they must get top 4. Conte is not a failure in the league. He won Chelsea the Premier League in his first season there. And the only reason they finished, I think, 4th or 5th in the second season was because he wanted the severance package. He wanted that 9 mil. He wanted to be sacked on purpose. He won the FA Cup out of pride because he was against Jose Mourinho and there was a trophy on the line. So he won that out of pride. But for the league, he didn't care. He wanted his money. He fell out with Roman Abramovich and he was scorned. So he wanted his money. And unless he's scorned, a happy Antonio Conte is a dangerous Antonio Conte. And Tottenham are a threat. Tottenham could challenge Liverpool for second place if Liverpool do not click. They really could. And United, Chelsea, Arsenal need to watch out for Tottenham. Tottenham could claim 3rd place. And then that 4th place is going to be a madness. That 4th place is going to be real madness. So Antonio Conte with Tottenham is a dangerous proposition for anyone. They beat City twice last season, I think. Once with Nuno Espirito Santo and other with Antonio Conte. I think it was a last minute winner. That was a crazy match, by the way. So he's got Son, Kane, Richarlison. He's got Perisic now. He's got Basuma. He's got Romero. He's got these players, and it's going to be fascinating to watch Tottenham. They finally have a world-class manager. They do not have a B-Tech manager like Pochettino. They do not have Nuno Espirito Santo, who basically wasn't ready for the job and was like 12th choice and didn't get the players he wanted. So they've got a world-class manager, top 5 manager in the world right now. And Tottenham should get top 4. If they don't, Conte, we're looking at you funny in the light. Do not expect Tottenham to do anything in the Champions League either, because Conte is a brick in the Champions League. He's trash. He's trash in the Champions League. So, man went unbeaten in Serie A, but couldn't even escape the group stages with Juventus or Chelsea, whoever it was. So, but Tottenham should get top 4 easily. They should finish 3rd, I think. Moving on to Chelsea. Chelsea. Whatever your chant is. Chelsea are looking in trouble. I made a video about Chelsea and are they finished? Are they in trouble? They got new owners, Todd Bowley and Clear Lake Capital. Todd Bowley doing the negotiations, having meals with Laporta. Chelsea have got lambasted and destroyed and pulverized and abused and violated by Barcelona in the transfer market. Koundé, Lewandowski, 2 to name a few, Rafinha, Dembele. They were all linked with these players and they didn't get them. They didn't. Now, it's another matter whether Barcelona are able to register these guys. Maybe some levers will come into play where they'll be able to register these guys, but they've been able to sign these players, take them away from Chelsea, and Tuchel is in trouble because he thinks the team isn't ready. They lost 4-0 to Arsenal in the pre-season friendly. The results in the pre-season do not matter. The performances do. And if there's no cohesion, you don't have any idea what the manager wants the team to do, then that's when you're in trouble. If you're losing 6-0 even, it's fine. Like, you could lose all your pre-season matches, but do well in the league, do well in the Champions League. It doesn't matter. It's just the performances matter. The fitness matters. So I'm hearing Chelsea haven't really done anything in pre-season. They haven't really had that much cohesion. Tuchel's got Koulibaly, decent defender. He's got Sterling, who is decent. But there's a reason Man City sold him. And Koulibaly is probably leaving Napoli a year or two too late. So I think that's the only two guys Chelsea have signed, main guys they've signed. So, and they've still got Werner there. They haven't signed a striker. Lukaku went back to Inter Milan because I think that was a Ponzi scheme. I think that was a scam by Inter Milan. They wanted to keep Lukaku, but they used him as a pawn in a deal to get 100 mil from Chelsea, to then have Lukaku stink up the place, do that interview, mess up in the league, and then want to come back. And then they only have to pay, 5 mil in a loan fee, but they still have that money. So Chelsea have been finessed by Inter Milan and Lukaku. And apparently Lukaku he stayed in contact with Inzaghi, who wasn't even his manager when he left Inter. So yeah, Chelsea are entering the season in a bad way. They are. But who knows? Maybe they'll end up having a great season. Last season, people thought they were going to win the league or challenge for the league because of what they did in the Champions League. That didn't happen. And they fell away during parts of last season. They did well in the Champions League to get to the quarters, but they fell away. So for Chelsea, I think it will be a hit or miss. It's either you get top four. If you get top four, I think you'll finish fourth. And if you miss, you could be finishing below Arsenal. You could. So now we move on to Manchester United and new manager Erik ten Hag. He wants De Jong. De Jong hasn't joined yet. Barcelona still owe him about £17 million in wages, deferred wages. And they do not want to pay him. They only want to pay him maybe half of it, but they don't want to give it to him. So as long as that's an issue, he's not joining United. So United are screwed because they do not have any alternatives, which is shambolic. For Ten Hag to not have any alternatives is shocking. They're telling me out of all the players in the world, all the elite players in the world, there isn't another player who can do the job that he wants De Jong to do, that he can get for the same price, maybe even less. They're telling me that's the case. So putting that aside, actually no, not putting that aside, let me talk about this. If Ten Hag does not get De Jong, Man United are finishing in 6th place. They're not doing anything this season. Because clearly, Ten Hag needs De Jong for this team to operate, for this team to function. Man United are not going to do anything this season if De Jong doesn't come. If De Jong comes, maybe they'll get 5th. They're not getting top 4. Maybe they can challenge for it at some points, but they're not getting top 4. That's guaranteed. I guarantee you that. Come back to this video at the end of the season. Man United are not getting top 4 this season. But they signed Lisandro Martinez, who seems like a good player. Short defender, but Fabio Cannavaro was short when he won the World Cup. And he won the Ballon d'Or. So height does not define you as a defender unless you're really, really short. Maguire's tall, or like the size of a centre-back. He's gutter trash, you know. So, and this is a narrative. Who will Ten Hag play for the majority of the season? Martinez and Varane or Martinez and Maguire? I think Lindelof will be a bench player. So maybe depending on the opponent, depending on the form, I think will be interchangeable. Bailly should have been gone. I don't know how United have not sold any players whatsoever. I think all they've done is sell Dean Henderson, but it wasn't even a sale. It's on loan to Nottingham Forest or something. So United are in the mud still. They're not giving their new manager the best start to the job. They've signed Malacia, who seems to have great potential. They've signed Christian Eriksen, who I think is a great buy. Absolutely great buy for free as well. So a great steal there for Ten Hag and United there. He can challenge Bruno Fernandes, and if he wanted to, Ten Hag could play Bruno as a number 9, Eriksen as the 10, and Eriksen is a much better 10 than Bruno. That's the fact. Eriksen got that class, he's got that touch, he's got that technique. So, and he knows how Ten Hag rolls, and Ten Hag knows how he rolls. So, because of the time he was training at Ajax whilst he was recovering from his cardiac arrest. So, it's going to be a good season for Eriksen, I think. But United, 5th place max. 5th place max. If Ten Hag gets 4th, that'll be an amazing achievement. But they do have the challenge for the Europa League. They do. Maybe even win it. Who knows? Maybe even win it. Maybe they'll meet Arsenal in the final if Arsenal get far enough. If United get far enough, it could be an all-English final. So that's a must. Ten Hag needs to do well. He needs to have the style of play consistently implemented. He's a disciplinarian, so he will expect the best from his players. 5th place max, in my opinion. So let me know what you think about United. Do you think they'll get top 4? Do you think they'll get 6th? Do you think they'll even finish below that? Let me know what you think. And finally, Manchester City. I think they'll do a 3-peat. They've got Haaland. I don't think he's a Pep type of player. When I said that, some guy went into my comments and started trying to say I don't know anything about football and I'm insulting and delusional or whatever. But that's my opinion. Pep wanted Kane. He had to be persuaded to get Haaland. So if Haaland does not fit the system, if he cannot adapt at all, if he cannot fit the system, City will have to drop Haaland. They've got Julian Alvarez there who can actually do a much better job. He fits the system more than Haaland does. And sometimes it's not a case of getting the best player in the world. It's getting the best player for your system. The best player in the world for your system. The player who matches your system the best. And the guy that I was talking about in the comment section saying, oh, Haaland's got the technique and stuff, his first touch is a bit off. And that miss against Liverpool was bad. And I'm hearing people are saying that he watched the Bundesliga regularly. He does that a little bit often. Not a lot, but he does it. It happens for him. So Haaland better perform, because the hype, him being compared to Mbappe for the past couple of years, he hasn't really done much in football other than scoring a volume of goals. Yes, most teams would want him. Yes, but only if he fits the system, and he doesn't for some teams. For City especially. And Pep has been backed into a corner where he has to support this guy now. He has to try and integrate him into the system. And City maybe he doesn't have to fit into the system, maybe, because City make a lot of chances, so maybe he just have to score some tap-ins. But he cannot score 30 tap-ins a season. It's not going to happen. And how is he going to do against low block teams? Because City basically play against low block teams. So how's that going to work? So City should win the league. They should win the Champions League, but we'll see if Pep screws again. And yeah, Haaland versus Nunez is going to be the player battle of the season. Man City versus Liverpool, and then you have Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal and United battling for top 4. You have Leicester as well. I don't think they've bought anyone, and Kasper Schmeichel wants to leave. So Leicester, watch out for Leicester. Brendan Rodgers could be sacked if they do not do that well, because I'm hearing they haven't signed any players. Everton as well. They need to be careful. Frank Lampard needs to be careful. He can't be too arrogant. He has to get Everton to improve. And their owner, Farhad Mashiri, he needs to go. He's trash. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Southampton again. I'm just doing some random stuff here. Southampton, nice kit, but you guys need to be careful with relegation, because you guys have been faltering recently. I think they finished 17th, 16th, 17th as well last season, so they weren't far off. So they need to be careful. Ralph Hasenhüttl hasn't really progressed Southampton much. Maybe it's because he hasn't been able to have the money, the funds to buy a lot of players, but they have patches where they're really good, but then have majority of the season where they're really bad. So they need to be really careful that they do not get relegated. And that's pretty much it. Fulham, Bournemouth coming back up again, Nottingham Forest coming up, and we'll see if all 3 of them survive. Let me know your thoughts about the storylines and the narratives heading into the season. Don't give me your predictions here. I'll try and make a video for that before Friday or Saturday. And once again, let me know your views on what I've said, the storylines heading into the season, and who do you think will score more, Haaland or Nunez, or even Alvarez? Who knows? So yeah, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Pep, you better win that Champions League. You better win that Champions League, and you better get that 3-peat. Adios. Goodbye.